Round shape.
Hey guys, Soft here. Today I'm going to be showing you how to take apart your A&K M24 and get down into the spring inside the bolt here. And alright, let's get to taking this bad boy apart. Alright, now I do have y'all on the floor here and whatever. So to take it apart, there's a screw here, right behind the trigger guard, and there's a screw here, right inside, or right in front of this panel, which is where the real magazine would go, so it's right in front of here. You also have to take out this here, and this other one here goes to the bipod. It's out, so you have to take this one out. So you're going to need a flathead, screwdriver. You're going to need this for later, like something two-pronged like this, and Allen keys for just the one Allen key part. So you take your flathead, take out the screws here. Don't lose any of these parts, because that would suck. And then you take out your other screw here. There you go. So this particular doodad here, so how I'm taking this gun apart is basically the same for most guns to get down to the spring. Some guns it's different, but it's basically where all the screw configuration is. So the screw configuration on where the screws will be is different. But once you get down to it, it's basically the same thing. So you'll pull your upper receiver off from your lower receiver here, and then you just have your inside shell. Alright, that's just the nut for my bipod. Alright, there. So now you just pull the bolt up and you take it out here. Not normally though, because normally you have a sear in there. So what you have to do normally is you have your trigger assembly here. You have to take out these two screws and just those screws. Don't unscrew anything on the trigger assembly here. So you need your Allen key to take out those two screws. Don't lose the washers on them either. And then you take your trigger assembly off. Now, the sear is broken on this gun, so the sear goes in the trigger assembly, so that's why the bolt came right out. Normally the bolt doesn't come right out, just to let you know. And, alright, so you get that out and you just set it down and leave the screws in there so you don't lose anything. And right here is where your bolt will go in like this, and then your sear goes in there and runs along it. So when you pull your bolt up, it'll run on that rail, and then you pull back and do that. So you have that out now. Now you set your upper receiver down, and then you have your bolt. Don't take this off, it just screws with how your bolt handle goes and stuff. Now you need this two-prong doodad here, and there's these two holes right there, the little ones. You have to put it in the holes, and then you have to unscrew it. You have to put it in those holes, otherwise it does not come up. They do sell special tools for this, or you could just find one of these somewhere. And then you have to pop off, or once you get it loose enough, you could just twist it off. And there's your cylinder head. It should be filled with grease. And then you have your piston here, and then you have your original spring. I do have my M190 right here. But so, and then you have the spring holder right here. So your spring inside will sit on this, then your piston goes over this, and then this sits on top of the piston and it's pressuring down on the piston to hold it inside, so the spring is will get compressed. So if you change the spring, I milled this piston out. So you put the spring in, and then you would pop this end on, and then you just put it back in here, and then you put pressure down, and then you put this screw back on. So I am going to show you how to reassemble the gun here. Some people don't do that, show you how to reassemble it. They're just like, well, here you go. Just put the video backwards, and that's how you assemble it. So I'm going to show you how to assemble it. So you take the spring holder here. I think it might be the spring guide, but you take that, you put it in there, and then the open part of the piston, you put it in there, and then you just drop the spring guide down in the tube, and then you have to put pressure on the piston with your head here, and then you twist it on, and then you tighten it. You go tighten it with your hand, and then you want to tighten it with this tool again. Not overly tight, but just tight enough. So, alright, it's tight enough. Alright, so now what you do is you take this, your upper receiver again, you put the bolt in, just slide it in, and now you're going to take your trigger assembly here. So if you can't find the holes, what you just do is you look at where the little screw holes are, and then you have to have the bolt at a wee angle, so the part is open where your sear would go normally. Then you slide your assembly in there, and it goes right in. Now you have to put your screws, just to wiggle it around a little, so you can find the screw holes. That down. On this you want to go as tight as it'll go. This is your trigger assembly here. So that's how. Alright, so there's that. And then you just put your bolt back down. Normally you want your bolt around like right here, so that you have your hole open there. And then you put the sear in the hole, if you have your sear on there. Because right now I could just pull my bolt out, but you normally can't do that unless the gun's specialized to do that. This one is not. So then, to put the gun back together, you have to put the trigger assembly in the trigger hole with the lower receiver here, and then you have it in, and then the screw holes, then you put your screw in here. Actually, no, you don't put those screws in first. Sorry, you put this screw in first, and you have to put pressure down. Get this screw particularly in. It's a pain in the butt when you first get the gun, but it'll get easier, you know. So you get that screw in. That's the first. So this screw right here is the first screw you want in, and you're gonna have to put it on the butt of the gun here and put pressure down on it, so it'll go in. And then you can put in your two other main screws here with your flathead. And then you make sure those are nice and tight, because you don't want your body coming apart on you when you're in the middle of a battle. Make sure they're tight. Alright, they're all tight. So that is how you take your sniper rifle apart and put it back together. Most guns run on this system. It's pretty easy. Some guns are complicated and have a few extra things you have to do in order to actually get down to the spring and take it out. Those are more complicated guns. The M48-3 runs. I still have to figure out how to take that one apart and get to the spring because it is a wee bit sketchy. But I will figure out how to get down to the spring. So that is how you take your spring out and put it back in, or take your gun apart. Now when you take it apart, so you have your upper and lower receiver split apart, then you can take apart your trigger assembly if you have to fix your trigger assembly, or you want to upgrade your hop-up or bucking. It's all in the upper receiver. The lower receiver is just the weight in the butt of the gun here. It's just the weight back here, and this in the butt of the gun. That's all you really change on the lower receiver here on the body. The upper receiver is where you're going to be changing everything. So that is how you change just the spring. It gets more complicated if you take apart the trigger assembly. I think you can change it so it has like a tighter trigger pull if you want it, or a lighter trigger pull. So yeah, that is how you take apart some sniper rifles. This is particularly the A&K M24 here. So I will have some new gameplay soon, just so you guys know. And alright, so if you guys have any questions, put them down in the comment section below on any specifics on your sniper rifle or anything like that. I know mainly about sniper rifles. I will also have a so this series will be called a how-to series. I'll also have a video on how to change your motor on your M4, because it's pretty easy, but still I'll show y'all. That will probably come out either next week or in 2 weeks. I don't know how the schedule's going to work for now. In the summer, it should probably be every week again. So, yeah. So that's all for today, folks. Have a great one. Nate Soft out. On the road again. I'm on the road again. I ain't got no woman just to call my special friend.